adding fractions, the first thing you have to look for is to make sure that they have a common denominator. So if you look at question 1 here, we already have a common denominator, which means that we don't have to find one. We can just go ahead and begin by only adding our numerators together. So if we do 2 plus 4, here we have 6, and the denominator will always stay the same. Now that we've added them together, we have to look at our fraction and make sure that we do not leave it as an improper fraction. So if it is improper, like in this case, we have to change it to a mixed number. And if you remember, we're going to see how many times does 5 go into 6? It's once. How many is left over? It'd be 1/5. And that's how you begin by adding fractions. Now, what if we do not have a common denominator? Then we're going to have to find one. In order to find a common denominator, we have to find the lowest common multiple of your two denominators, so 12 and 3. So I'm going to start by listing the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, and 12. I notice here I get to 12, and that is one of my other denominators, which means that becomes my lowest common multiple, meaning my lowest common denominator. So now I'm going to go back to my question, and I'm going to change both my fractions to have a denominator of 12. Now when I do that, I can't only apply it to the denominator, I also have to apply it to the numerator. So I'm going to look, 12 times 1 will give me 12, and then I must do the same thing to the top, which is going to give me 7. 3 times what gives me 12? It is 4, and then I do the same to the top. So now that I have common denominators, I may go ahead and I may add only the numerators together. And of course, the denominator always stays the same. In this case, when I get my final answer, I need to make sure first off that if it is improper, I must change it to a mixed number and simplify it if needed. In this case, 11/12 is simplified, so I may leave it that way.